Now, I did a video of Teen Titans Go, what the fuck is going on with the scheduling, and that video is doing very well. I'm getting some good feedback from it, so I was like, I appreciate you guys for doing that. It's always a pleasure. But I didn't know that video was going to go long anyway. So, moving on from that, let's talk about the Powerpuff Girls. Now, I stated in the video, so you can say this is a sequel to that video, is that the Powerpuff Girls 2016 reboot is a fucking failure. It is a failure. There's barely ever, they barely advertise the show now like they used to, because I remember they advertised the shit out of it all online, everywhere. Now, I see less of that now. The show airs only on Sunday. It doesn't air where Teen Titans Go anymore. So they somehow forgot about the show. The ratings for the show are abysmal. They are bad. Like one of my subscribers, Dougie, I'm gonna reference him a lot because he tells me all the stuff. But the ratings no longer they get like 500,000 or 600,000 viewers. They'll get over 1 million viewers. Maybe on the lucky day they get 900,000. That's the highest rated viewers. But lately they've been in the lows. Like they keep getting lower and lower. I think this is a sign, Cartoon Network, y'all ain't doing good. Now, here's the thing about the Powerpuff Girls. When it came out the first time, I gave it a chance because it's Powerpuff Girls. But I already knew by the way it looks, by the way they talked, by the way they act in that first episode, that this wasn't the Powerpuff Girls from the old. I was like, okay, fine. I'll run through, I'll go through it. But eventually they started doing a lot of things that the original would never do. The original would never try to be hip, or try to be trendy, or try to shake their ass like twerk. Like twerk, they did twerking back in 2016, but twerking was outplayed back in fucking 2014. Like it was outplayed in 2014. People stopped twerking like around 14, 15. It wasn't a trend anymore, it was a big. And the problem with it, they're trying to, here's the thing about television shows, anime shows. These things are not, the thing about the internet is do not follow the internet. There's certain things you could do with trends, but it works. Like for example, the trending of a certain, let's say of a meme, like of Saitama saying okay. I'll put the picture of him saying okay, Saitama saying okay, and then they do a picture of him saying okay. That can work. However, that can work. Why? Because that is an expression that people will use a lot. Like the thing about trending and memes and stuff like that, you have to. And then again, memes are always not very PC. They're not PC. When you try to make memes PC, it doesn't work. Which Powerpuff Girls were trying to do, which clearly failed. But the thing about it is, that works because that's a meme that people, here for example, I get that expression a lot too. Hell, there's certain people get that expression, it's funny because it works. That's something you can use every day. But then again, you have to sit there and study memes. But ain't nobody got time to sit there and study memes, which one you can use and which one you can't use. I wouldn't do that, nor should you do that. That's why I don't do it. And the thing about Powerpuff Girls, it never went what was trending. It always did what it wanted to do. Eventually, the original series, it became its own trend. This shit is not its own trend. It's trying to find what's trending and incorporate this. And plus, the worst thing about it, they incorporate these animated shows. Like, they animate the show, right? For example, they have Pop Blossom and Bubbles twerking. Now, you're probably saying, oh, that's outplayed. It comes out in 2016. They might have animated this shit when twerking was big in 2014 or 2015. You can't follow what's trending at that time because when it comes to the episode release date, it's outplayed. It's boring now. People are not doing that no more. So, like, when you do that, it kind of hurts the show in a way because it's like, it feels like you're trying to be hip and it's not working, and you're trying to do something that has been outplayed for 2 years, and it's failing. That's one thing I saw that I was like, no. And another thing is, it's not following the formula that Powerpuff Girls did in the original. The original, and I'll say this again, the original gave no fucks about blood and teeth flying out. That's what made the original stand out from any other show. because it wasn't just your typical Powerpuff Girls. It is a girl DBZ version. It's pretty much DBZ for made for girls, but eventually guys got behind it because they didn't throw any punches. When it hit the gang green game, Mojo Jojo, there are teeth flying out, blood sticking out. That made it edgy and made it more appealing, not just to girls, but to boys. And that's why Powerpuff Girls became a household juggernaut that it is today. This show is very PC, and you can tell it's PC. They're not going that route no more. They're trying to follow the Teen Titans Go route, which is already failing. Their ratings are suffering. They have a fan base, but you can see it's dwindling as faster than it began. And people are seeing it now. And we kept telling them for years, do not use Teen Titans Go as a template or blueprint for your new shows. And another example, they had a crossover with Teen Titans Go. In any world in reality, who thinks that's a good idea? Teen Titans Go already has a bad reputation. Why would you add Powerpuff Girls, that's a new show, with that? Do not incorporate those two together, because when you incorporate those two together, that means you already telling the old fans, this is not made for you. This is made for the new generation. And already people, though, in the new generation are not too clean on Teen Titans Go. It's like, okay. But then people are moving on from that. They're like, okay, well, if that's what you want to go, then they left. Guess what? Where they're at now, the ratings are showing that you pissed off the wrong fan base. The wrong one. Moving forward to that, you have, in what world, you have Powerpuff Girls and Steven Universe on the same network. You could have had a crossover with Steven Universe and Powerpuff Girls. The shit writes itself. That's money right there. The Uncle Grandpa crossover with Steven Universe. Look, I'm one of those people that came on the internet and thought that was the most terrible idea ever. I said Adventure Time. However, it came out to be a great episode. Thank you put the Powerpuff Girls with Steven Universe. The gems with Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Think about that. Look at the crossover they could do. The fusion, they could fuse with the Powerpuff Girls. That is a fan fiction warfare ready to be happy. People would geek out for that. But no, they want to put it with Teen Titans Go, and it failed. I mean, Rebecca Sugar even came out and said, oh, I used to love the Powerpuff Girls. You think she would not love to write that? No, we'll put it with Teen Titans Go, which makes total sense, by the way. And it failed, because at the end of the day, Powerpuff Girls didn't get no boost out of that. Teen Titans Go ratings were still the same. So what came good out of that? Did you hear any more crossovers with that? No, because it was a failure. It was a huge fucking failure. And now the network is suffering because it's like, what is there to do? This new reboot they put hype, money behind is failing. It is so failing that to the point they barely advertise it on the network. Now on the internet, it might get 1 million views here and there. But again, are they getting 1 million views because they think it's the old one or the new one? That's what they don't know. It's probably because they think it's the old one. There's some reviews that, there was one guy who kept reviewing the show to the point he said, oh, this is the best thing on television. I don't know who his name is. I forgot, because I did my best just to get the fuck off that channel, because I was like, this, you ain't for me, man. If you like this, then you ain't for me. Because this show is the definition of trash, abomination, and garbage. I'll say this again, Cartoon Network highest rated show this year is Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack. If your highest rated show is Samurai Jack that airs at 11 o'clock, is the highest rated show of the year. Still right now, of the year. Nothing has beat that rate. I think Steven Universe came close to that. But again, I think their highest rated show is Samurai Jack. Either was the season premiere or the season finale. One of those two. That's your highest rated show of this year. That's a problem. And that's a problem. And the problem is that your shows, your current lineup of shows, are not bringing in the viewers, are not bringing in the word of mouth. And that's the problem. Powerpuff Girls' word of mouth is dwindled. No one talks about it. No one gives it the time of day. You know why? They said, fuck it. We're done with this show. We're done with Teen Titans Go, and we're done with the network. Cartoon Network needs to realize you can't follow everything to the T. Like, for example, as much as I do not hate, I like a regular show and Adventure Time, I still hate what they did. I hate that they started this trend of shows has to be 11 minutes and they can be successful. It started with regular show and it started with Adventure Time. And you notice a lot of show follows that format. And I'm telling you, I'm not a big fan of the 11-minute type of episodes. I've never been a fan of those. 11 to 12-minute episodes. I've never been a fan of those. I never liked them. I think they serve no purpose. Now, if you add 11-minute episodes with another 11-minute episode, I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm content with that. I'm used to that. But I'm not used to just 11-minute episodes, then you go on to another show. I don't like that. I'm a 22-minute guy. I love 22-minute episodes. It works for me. Always have, it always will be. But Cartoon Network would never do that. I don't think there's none of their shows right now on the network is 22 minutes. That show Justice League Action, which I'll do a review, talk about that. What happened to Justice League Action? Should it be a 22-minute show? But this is the problem with Cartoon Network, and I think it's suffering because of that. Now they have these specials when they put 2 episodes together, but I mean, like, who cares? Who cares? So, honestly, the Powerpuff Girls to me Powerpuff Girls 2016 has been a huge failure, and it's going to be a failure to the day it ends. I see the show. You say Teen Titans Go has like 5 or 6 seasons right now. Powerpuff Girls are going to make it to 5. I don't even think they'll make it to 4. It got renewed, but I don't think there'll be no renewal in this near future. Need to pull the plug on this. It is okay to admit you failed, because the more you admit to your failures, the more you admit. The thing about Nickelodeon and the thing about Disney, you could tell when they fuck up, they know they fucked up, they come out and say they fucked up. Certain times they don't. And that's the problem with businesses today. I don't like that. The only company that, to me, that admit they fucked up recently and they have done nothing but cruise control and they worked up cruise control and they fixed things and they have my faith back in the company is DC Comics. They did a DC Rebirth and they told fans, we are sorry. We are sorry for forcing you this BS, and we know you hate the New 52. We don't hate the New 52, but we know you dislike the changes we did with the characters. We know you dislike this. We know you dislike that. We're going to fix it so everyone can enjoy it. And they've done that with the DC Rebirth. They have done that. Marvel needs to take note of that. Only Marvel Comics. Cartoon Network needs to take note of that. And it's funny, Cartoon Network and DC are under the same umbrella, Warner Brothers. So they can take note from one another. Take the blueprint. Cartoon Network needs to come out and admit, like on the 25th anniversary, they need to come out. Christina Miller needs to come out and do a video and say, I'm sorry. We understand. I've heard the complaints. I've heard the backlash. I hear the hate. Cartoon Network is on a rebirth. If I see something similar to that, no, I'll give Cartoon Network a chance. Because when you admit you're doing something wrong and you apologize, that means you know the issue, you know the problem, you're trying to fix it. However, they're not coming out to say that. They didn't come out and say anything about Infinity Train, nothing of the ordinary. Now again, I will wait to the 25th anniversary, which is later in September or October. I think it's October. If I don't see nothing from them in that time, I'm making a video. Cartoon Network, fuck you. And that video will be it. It will explain my frustration and explain everything from this time frame all the way up to Cartoon Network. Because they need to do something. They need to get their shit back together. This Powerpuff Girls reboot, this Ben 10 reboot, which I got nothing to say on that. But it's not working. When you're at Comic-Con and the most talked about news of the week is Nickelodeon and fucking Disney, and Cartoon Network barely was talked about, that's a problem, man. Because Nickelodeon, they barely had any promotion. I mean, Disney, let's go to Disney. Disney had nothing but they said Darkwing Duck was coming back. That took the news. Nickelodeon's like, no. Yeah, okay, look, Darkwing Duck is cool and everything. What about Hey Arnold? We got the Hey Arnold movie coming out. I geeked the fuck out. I'm like, yes. Continuations. Now, reboots, I'm not going to come out here and say reboots are bad. Voltron Force Legendary Defender, that's how you do a reboot. Not Voltron Force, but Voltron the Legendary Defender, that's how you do a reboot. On Netflix, that is a good reboot done extremely well. To the point, I like it more than the original. That is done perfectly well. So reboots are good. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of 2012. That is a good reboot. Done well. When you give the property to fans of the original material, then it's done well. The people who does Powerpuff Girls, they're not fans of it. I think one of the creators said, yeah, I saw it here and there. That's not a fan. That's somebody who saw it and thought it was okay. Teen Titans Go, they already came out this years ago. Now, we never saw the show. So we already know where they're coming from. So I'm not even going to talk to Teen Titans Go about that anymore. That's been beaten down. That's already been beaten down enough from people, myself included. So they need to start getting people fans of the property or get the original people back. Now they said, oh, Craig McCracken, he can't come on the show because he's working on Wanda over yonder. He said, well, he'll come back later in the later season. I bet Craig McCracken looking at the show is like, yeah, I'm not coming back and do this shit. I said, I come back and do a Foster Home for Imaginary Friends movie. Probably. I'm not doing this. I don't want to touch Powerpuff Girl for the next 5 or 6 years until I get this nasty taste out of my mouth. He looked at the show like, I can't even be involved with this. This is not nothing I want my name attached to. I bet he hates seeing the Powerpuff Girls on Cartoon Network saying, oh, yeah. Flip the channel. Not he flips it because, oh, I made it. I don't want to look at it no more. He flips it is saying, what have they done to my baby, my creation, my money maker? Because that's what Powerpuff Girls was. It's no longer a money maker. Cartoon Network has beaten down to the bush that no one wants to see it, no one wants to talk about it, no one cares for it. And it's a damn shame because Powerpuff Girls is a fantastic franchise. It could be. It gears to girls and it geared to boys. Now it's only geared to girls, but a small percent. And that's why the original was so big. It geared to both demographics. But Cartoon Network don't want two demographics on one property, which makes them more money. They're like, oh, well, Powerpuff Girls is selling toys. Is they? Because the ratings are proving they're not. God knows that. But anyway, I'm going on long enough. 17 minutes of this video. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day. Let me know down below what you guys think of the Powerpuff Girls, a reboot.